Hi everybody, I'm Captain Floofers, and welcome back to more Let's Play LEGO Dimensions. Please excuse my unkemptness and the sassy quote shirt that I don't normally wear on these things. I'm just partially a spur-of-the-moment thing on a day off, and I just never really... I'm just in comfy clothes right now, and that's how that is. But yeah, before we get to the actual gameplay and building and all that good stuff, the Let's Play itself, just a bit of a forward here, because the presentation of the LP is going to be a tad different for the time being. By the time this video goes up, I will have put up an update video stating that I am on a long, indefinite hiatus from doing most content. But I still really want to play LEGO Dimensions. Basically, it's at a point where I now have in my possession everything that I need to get the 100% done. And, you know, as a result, I really want to play the game. But considering that this project was a Let's Play to begin with, I don't want to play the game without at least recording my progress. But because of the whole hiatus thing, I also really didn't want to do the whole setup with the microphone and the setting up the face cam and you know, flipping on all the programs on the computer and everything. I just wanted to just relax and play the game. So I made myself a bit of a compromise. I'm actually going to be filming all of the building segments on the camcorder here. So one thing, it's going to be better quality video overall. And then what I'm going to be doing during the gameplay segments is actually just capturing the footage. And then going back and putting post-commentary over it. So it's going to be a bit of a different thing. I'm not going to have a face cam during the footage. I'm just going to be focusing on playing the game pretty much. So that's just how it's going to be for however many parts going forward. But with that out of the way, let's get to the LEGO Dimensions stuff. So when we last left off, I actually went and cleared, well, the last session, that's the word I'm thinking of, session. The last session that I did, I actually played through 2 more of the level packs, the Doctor Who level pack and the Ghostbusters level pack. And today, we're going to be playing through the final 1.0 level pack, which is the Midway Arcade level pack. Yeah, for some reason, of all the things they picked to have a dedicated level pack, Midway Arcade was one of them. But the parts we have here will build our character, who is an unnamed gamer kid. Let's give him a name. Why not? Come up with a name and a backstory. Actually, Gamer Kid, that's his actual name. That's what we're going to call him. His name is Reginald Gamer Kid. Gamer is his nickname. That's what all of his fellow Zoomer friends refer to him as, because he really likes retro arcade games. So he's Gamer. So Gamer Kid, that's his name. And basically, they did have to come up with their own story and everything, but we'll get to that when we get to it. But Gamer also comes with enough parts to build the car from Spy Hunter, as well as an arcade cabinet, which we will show off when we get to it. So I'm just going to build this real quick, then get to the game. I'll get the instructions out, because he's holding a couple of things. I think he's holding a soda, and yeah, he's holding a soda and a nickel. Yeah, because nickels are famously used in arcade machines, not quarters. Or whatever, what few arcades are still around, whatever they use. They still use quarters? I think they still use quarters, but it costs $5 to play a game nowadays, so you have to put in 50 million quarters. I remember when that got really annoying. I never really played a lot of arcades, played in a lot of arcades as a kid, because, I mean, there were some that we lived near whenever we did you know, we lived in a lot of places when I was younger. We moved around a lot. But, no, he only has one face. That's, okay, so I don't have any alternate faces to show off. He's got his, like, black, moppy, Justin Bieber hair. But, we did live near some arcades, but I never really played in them much. And even when we did, it was always like we would get like a quarter each, me and my brother, and then just like play a game until we inevitably lost, like on the first level, because we weren't good at that stuff. But so it wasn't like, you know, all these other YouTuber arcade stories where, oh yeah, my parents gave me like $20 in quarters. But that could buy you a lot of games back then. But like, as time went on, I'd noticed that these arcades started charging more for their games, depending on what they were. Like, the last time I really did a lot in an arcade was there's an arcade in the mall near us. I don't even know if it's there anymore. But my brother went up there a lot and played Initial D. And that was like... There's a nickel. That was like $1 a game. So you had to put in like 4 quarters. I think they eventually went to a point where they had like cash cards that you could load up and put in because the games got that much more expensive. I don't know how much many arcade games are these days, but yeah. But here's Gamer Kid. He's got a nickel and he's got a soda. And he's got a Defender alien on his shirt. And I'm going to go ahead and start the game up and jump cut over to the level itself. And my future floof will provide commentary. Alright, and now I am future floofers. And by future floofers, I mean that... Oh god, I hate this guy already. This is the post-commentary for the gameplay footage, and this is actually being recorded in July, so roughly 5 months after Past Floof's footage. Past Floof, who was aware of our pal COVID, but before the U.S., I believe, it really became a huge problem, at least over here on the East Coast. Either way, I'm not going to go into too many of the specifics of like the setup I had going on here and whatnot, because the first few clips here are kind of short, and it's basically just setting up for the story, and then what little bit is in between the building segments. So seeing as Midway Arcade really doesn't have like a canon to pull from other than it's an arcade game company, we instead have like an original story for some reason featuring who we affectionately refer to in these parts as Reginald Gamer Kid, who is playing a little Defender portable and is going to an arcade for like no reason, and oh no, there's stuff going on in the arcade. And so Gamer is going to investigate while it plays the same kind of music it played during the Ghostbusters levels. I was going to make a Knight Rider joke, but like, oh no, Knight Rider's gone bad, or Kit's gone bad, but Knight Rider's actually in the game as of now, so I'm not going to do that. Although I kind of did. Arcade Master is just another guy they kind of thrown together to give us some exposition. So Gamer is going to face off against his first enemy, which is the aforementioned car, which is the car from Spy Hunter. I don't remember exactly what it's called, and I really don't care. I mainly got this level pack just to have the extra level, and I really hadn't played a lot of Midway Arcade games. There were a few represented here that I had played before and legitimately do enjoy, but there are some that I hadn't really played before, and thus didn't really have much of a way to
you know, I didn't really have like nostalgia for it. I guess basically what I'm getting at is I'm going to be playing a lot of games here that a lot of people really like, but it turns out I really don't. But I'll get to that when I get to that. Oh God. So rather than groaning every time this guy opens his mouth, basically what we got to do here is we have to get behind the car here, but the car keeps shooting at us, and we are not really equipped for that. But as you can see, the gamer kid can drink soda to give himself temporary power-ups. So we got invisibility, super strength, invincibility, super speed, and default is laser vision. And these are our temporary power-ups, kind of like Homer's like hulking out sort of thing when he drinks his soda. Same sort of thing. So we're going to use the invincibility power-up to get behind the car. We're just going to kind of hit it, and it's going to explode. Thusly. And the character pad comes up so that we can build it and use it for our own purposes. It's for still a few seconds. I guess I'm just kind of cleaning up the studs and whatnot. I kept forgetting, or at least kept forgetting at the time, that like all of these level packs seem to have like all of their building segments like near the beginning. But luckily, unlike other level packs, I didn't spend too much time on this one. I think this will only round out to about, I don't know, like 40-45 minutes, as opposed to like the last two, which were like an hour and a half each. Although who knows how who knows how it'll be when it's all put together. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it back to past floof, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Okay, so considering the post commentary is all going to be done like in the future compared to where I am, I apologize if I repeat anything that I may have said on the commentary so far, but I know that I'm going to mention this whenever this guy talks. I don't like him. he's already like a major what's the word I'm thinking of? Like super manufactured, like pandering. He's saying stuff like, "You got pwned and no permadeath." I'm like, shut up already, gamer. We already don't like you. So we're building the car from Spy Hunter. I didn't know if this was, I don't remember exactly. I didn't remember, at least going into this, exactly how story-wise he would get the Spy Hunter car. Apparently he just had to beat the devil out of it. I thought it was going to be one of his superpowers. Was summoning. Was like summoning game characters and whatnot to help him. I thought that was going to be like I was going to write that in as one of his superpowers into his made up backstory, but no, he just it was already there. So that's just how that's going to have to be, because I like my stories to make sense. Considering that the arcade machine has a whole lot of pieces on it, too. It's times like these where it's a little annoying to try to find like individual bits, like if you have them in a plastic bag like this. But it is a good storage solution for something like this, so I'm not mad. I found the thing. Put wheels on this. Oh no, we're gonna put these things on here. I know you can't see the screen. I'm not recording the screen right now. I am talking in PlayStation Party while I play the game, though. The obviously the party chat's going through the controller, and you can't hear it on the TV, but I actually told my friend that I was going to be doing these, building bits, like, separate recording while the mic is muted, because I still want, like I said, I just want to play LEGO Dimensions right now. I don't really care much about, like, the LP at large.
I just wanted to keep hanging out with my friend in chat, and you know, just play the game while chatting. And I guess depending on how long it takes to do this, like I'm gonna, because after I clear this level pack, I am planning on doing like the big build video where I just build everything else 1.0 related. This isn't really showing up well on camera, but where's the... We're looking for another little bit like that. One of these many super flat 2-stud things. I really don't want to spill these out on the table or for it, but because I haven't done up till now. These are going to be so much easier when we get to like the standard fun packs, because they only have one thing that we have to build for each character. Oh god. More little tiny pieces in this sea of bigger bits. I'm just going to go ahead and dump these onto the table. Sorry if I get a little bit off camera more than I have been. But, oh, look, there's one of the pieces we need right there. I just don't want all this to like fall onto the floor or anything. Where's this go? This goes right here. I don't know if you can, because I have my mic muted on the headset, but like I told him, I had to build the car. Let's see, there's another headlight. There we go. This is speeding the process up a bit now. Probably should have done this in the first place, yeah. Alright, so then we have like the little roof bit. That's somewhere. That's right here. Oh, crap. That's what I was afraid of would happen. There was a little piece that was kind of not really stuck. It wasn't connected or anything. It was just kind of laying in there. And it, you know, as I tried to pick up the piece and like manipulate it, it kind of, there was like a little stud and it like pinged onto the floor. Luckily I saw it, but I don't want to lose things. But yeah, that's what I was afraid of would happen. We got these little kind of wheel well parts. I think we put these on the Ecto 1 as well. This is going to look a little bit more like an actual car than the Ecto 1 model did. Where is... Yeah, there should be another one of these longer bits. There it is. One of these. I'm building the bumper now. My name's Bumpa. That's a Diddy Kong Racing reference. Remember Diddy Kong Racing? Remember nostalgic things? I have Diddy Kong Racing on the N64. That was my first N64 game, was Diddy Kong Racing. I remember when I first bought my N64, I had my own money. And I bought it, like I had my money like saved up from my birthday and Christmas, because I got a whole bunch of money for both occasions. My birthday is in December, as is Christmas, obviously, and I got like a crap ton of money, and I was able to use it to buy an N64 in one game. And my brother did the same thing. Like, he had like all his money. Like, his birthday's in September, but he still saved up like all his money as well. I guess he just never really found anything to spend it on. And so we both got N64s. Like, I think the initial plan was that he was going to get a PlayStation, and I was going to get an N64.
but then like he decided he wanted to get an N64 instead. So we both got one, and we each got a game. And I got Diddy Kong Racing, and he got Star Fox 64. But we still shared games and whatnot. I think the only game that we both ended up buying, like we each ended up buying a copy of, was Perfect Dark. Eventually, because like I had both Zelda games, and Mario 64, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I remember he had Pokemon Snap. What was it? Stadium? No, it was Snap. It was Snap. He had Pokemon Snap. We didn't have Stadium. I wanted Stadium, but we didn't get that. He got Pokemon Snap. He got what was it? He had Glover. I think he had Kirby 64 as well, which is a game that I actually really enjoy. But yeah, he had that. And there are like some games that are in both of our possessions, I think, that we just kind of inherited from people. Like other people, like he has he had Quest 64 was his. Like he got that from a friend of his. And Smash Brothers, Super Smash Brothers 1. Or Super Smash Bros. 64, whatever you call the first Smash Brothers game. He has he has a bunch of his games still in his possession. Rogue Squadron was another one that he had. I had Castlevania, Legacy of Darkness, so the better one comparatively. It's still a not great game. I know I'm moving off camera like all the time. This is another thing I was afraid of when I do this thing, because everything is on the table, and the table is quite a bit in front of where I'm sitting. Okay, now I get to put the wheels on. I'm always like OCD when it comes to like taking these apart with the intention of putting them back together later, because stuff like, the tires, they're going to go on the wheels, but I still take off the tires because it's part of the instructions. I think like there was like maybe a couple of bits here and there that I kept on. I think there was like something on one of the portal things had like some things put together because I could not separate them for the life of me for whatever reason. That's it. Yep, that's it. That is the stand. And we have a Spy Hunter car. Not a huge fan of Spy Hunter myself, but I do have that. So without further ado, let's head back to the game.
Okay, and we're back. We're going to save the car to the toy tag here. I noticed it takes a little bit longer than normal, but yeah, this is the shorter clip, as future Floof, or past Floof. It's already confusing me. Past Floof will point out in a little bit. This clip actually isn't very long. I'm going to mush it together with another one. But yeah, so basically this treadmill pops up. We got to bring out the car. Obviously, it's going to unlock something when we use the car on the treadmill. That's how these work. I mean, even I know that. I haven't played LEGO Dimensions in literally months, and yeah. So this seizure-inducing thing on the right here is an arcade port. I don't know if there's a word for it, but it's kind of like a port that you put the arcade machine into. As you can see there, we already have the build pad for the arcade machine. I'm just going to kind of splice in the footage of me walking over to because I forgot to add it in, but yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we're back on camera quicker than I expected. I didn't expect it to be literally 30 seconds, and then we already building arcade machine, but here we are. But luckily there's only like one thing left to build. All of the parts are right here. It's going to be easy to find them. And that's good enough for me right now. So, just build this real quick. I don't even remember what I was talking about with, we're talking about like N64 and whatnot. I certainly don't know what future me is talking about in post-commentary, but I don't really think that matters. At least not to me right now. It'll matter when the time comes. Yeah, this is a lot of, just a lot of layering things on top of each other. So it's gonna be, I think, pretty quick and easy to get through. We're gonna be using this quite a bit. I don't know if, how much I'm already going to be mentioning it in the video and whatnot. I'm not going to be doing it right now. I'm more or less going to be doing it when we go back through and play the levels for 100%, but one of the main things that the arcade machine does is it unlocks like actual arcade games you can play. They actually have like an emulator on here, like a MAME emulator or some description with like the actual ROMs of the games to play on here. And in order to basically unlock them to play, you have to find a place for the arcade machine to plug in, which is what opened up when we used the treadmill. And then they will also unlock in the free roam area. So there's like a central hub where you can just go to all of the machines and pick whichever one you want to play, which is great. But at the same time, there aren't a lot of like Midway Arcade games that I particularly super enjoy. Like we're gonna see games like Gauntlet and Rampage and all kinds of ones that I do like, but there's also like some classic ones that I don't particularly care for. Like I don't care for Defender. And I pretty much realized that when I actually played through this game the first time, and I'm like, this really isn't 100% fun to me. And don't even get me started on Paperboy. There's like a whole bunch of places where you can hook up into and play games here, but like you only have to play through a few of them, as we'll see, to actually clear the level, which is good because I don't want to spend forever playing Paperboy. There's the screen. That's the marquee. This is going to take long to do it all. Because we're already almost done with it. Bit here, and the marquee itself. I think Defender is one of the ones that we do have to play, though, which does make sense because that like seems to be gamer kids, like super favorite game because he's wearing the shirt and he was playing on his little Game Boy or whatever the hell it was supposed to be. Oh yeah, we're done. We're done already. That didn't take long at all. And that is our arcade machine. It is a Defender arcade machine. He's got a little actual screen on there. It's got Defender on the sides, and it's got the marquee and everything. It looks very nice. And even though this is technically a Defender machine, it does have other skins that we'll look at that you can put on there in game. But I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the extra bits, and we'll head back to the game proper for the remainder of the video. So 2 seconds. Okay, and now we're back from that. So it's just going to be the game footage from here on out, because we're just going to be finishing up the level here. It's going to be, according to the
the length of the video footage, about a little less than 40 minutes. Now, I do have the arcade machine here. It does show Defender on there, but it is universal with any of these arcade docking stations. And there are ways... Well, I say there are ways. There are unlockable skins as we... if we... I don't know if I resolve to pump money into it. Well, even the marquee changes depending on what dock you go into. Each of these docks throughout the game, throughout the entirety of the game, because there are even a lot of these some of these arcade docks in other levels. I'm fairly sure we've seen them up to this point, but each one has a different game. But the arcade cabinet in game, there is an alternate skin that we can alternate skins that we can change it to. I don't remember what they all were. We'll get to that We'll get to that when I actually start playing the game again. But yeah. Now you may see some spots here and there where I kind of just I may wander around in circles for a bit. I may not really think of what to do or whatever, and that's because while I was actually filming the game footage, I was in a PlayStation party with a friend of mine. So I was talking to him while playing the game, and just kind of dropping out of party or muting my mic or whatever during the points where I was actually building stuff in front of the camera. But yeah, this is Spy Hunter. It's a shmup. It looks like a driving game, and in a way it is, but it's mostly a shmup. You get different weapons. I don't know how you access the different weapons. I'm not a pro at this in any regard. I know that there's kind of Knight Rider truck. There's another Knight Rider reference. There are Knight Rider semi trucks that'll show up that you can go into to get other weapons and stuff. I think I'm really not sure. Basically, the goal with these games is that you have to get a certain score. Basically, there's your Knight Rider truck. I think I tried to go into it, but I didn't know how. I think I have to hit R1 like it was telling me to. But I really didn't know what I was doing. But with these arcade game sections, what you need to do is you can see from on the right side of the screen there's these medals that you get, and based on you get the medals based on score. As far as progression is concerned in the game, see pandering, and you get what I mean. Anyway, you have to get a bronze. If you get at least a bronze medal, the way will open up for you to go on to whatever the next game is. And there are even some games in this that aren't. Oh, and he'll just give you some knowledge based on whatever game you played. Basically, he's just saying that that Spy Hunter was supposed to be a James Bond movie, but they never got the license for it, so they just didn't make a James Bond. Either way, there are a bunch of other arcade docks that we're not going to be using, because there are a lot of optional games that you can play as well. We're not going to be doing this go-through, because we're mainly here for the progression and actually beating the level. Much like all of the other levels and level packs, right after this, I built all the rest of the 1.0. What do you call them? 1.0 toys. It usually needs like X-ray vision in order to be able to see through that, but I don't have that, so I can't do anything with that. It's an optional pickup. But anyway, we'll be going back through all of these levels with all of the characters to basically 100% all the levels and get all the pickups and whatnot. But for now, we're just kind of speeding through here. We're only going to play the games that we need to, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form going to be going for anything past a bronze medal, because there's really no point. When you get additional medals, all it rewards you with is more studs. which, yeah, is important in the grand scheme of things, but not so much that I'm going to be wasting time on every single game here in order to get, like, all the studs. In fact, when we come back, we will be in a position where we'll be getting more studs, like, in general, so we won't even really need the arcade machines to do that anyway. I will be playing all of the arcade games in order to unlock them, because in the Midway hub world, as we'll see later, there is, like, the central hub for it does have all of the does give you access to all the games that you've already played, so you can play them all there. But the next game I think we'll be playing is Robotron 2084, which is a game I do enjoy. I don't remember exactly what I'm doing here. I'm fairly sure I'm just getting studs for no reason. I don't really need to do that, because, again, just progression. I'm mainly trying to remember what to do. I think that hint block gave me a hint as to what to do, but I really don't know. I think you just gotta, yeah, invisible up to these guys and hit them, because if you get within that the circle, they'll shoot at you and run away. Oh, I turned on super strength by accident. So I do need invisibility in order to be able to sneak up on them and hit them. And once I defeat like 3 of them, then the Robotron arcade dock will open up. And again, Robotron is a game that I actually do like, so that's that. I think there are like a total of I don't know if all 3 of the games that I really like in this were played in this video. I know at least 2 of them are. I don't remember, because I don't remember if the other one is optional or not. But like, there's a lot of games that I really ended up not liking, and I'll talk about them as we go. But now we got to play Robotron. So the seeing as it is a vehicle or item, we can actually ride on the arcade machine up to the dock. And we get to play a little bit of Robotron. And Robotron is kind of neat because I didn't think there were too many twin-stick shooters back then, but yeah, this is like the first game that really came up with that concept. You had, as far as I know, you had 2... yeah, you even see it on the sides of the screen there. You had 2 joysticks, one moves you and one fires you. Although, oh, okay, I was going to say... if you use the D-pad and the buttons, you can do like that as well. But I'm fairly sure I just used because you can just use the thumbsticks to do that too. And your goal is just to kill all the robots in the wave and then move on to the next level. The bronze medals are not hard to get whatsoever. And I end up getting them fairly easily, or at least as easily as I can. I mean, there are some games that I'm really not good at, as we'll see. Again, I'll get to that when I get to that. There really isn't too much else to say. Oddly enough, Robotron, as far as I know, really hasn't been available, you know, like in too many, like, standalone ports. I mean, yeah, there have been many arcade compilations with, like, because this is both Midway and Williams. It's considered both. And, like, there are lots of, like, Williams arcade hits that have Robotron in them. But, like, the only, like, home port I know of was, like, on the Atari Lynx. And, I have played that version. I don't get that excited over it, though. Like, I haven't really played an Atari Lynx before, but, you know, in this day and age, there are ways of playing games, even if you don't have the original hardware. Did I just want to play more Robotron at this point? No, okay. I think I just accidentally started the game and didn't mean to. But I have played the Lynx version, and it is a little bit different. Basically, the way it works out is, Like, because the Lynx had, like, a control pad and 2 action buttons. And I think that, if I remember correctly, the way it works out is that the control pad moves you around, but you're constantly firing, and the action buttons will turn you in different directions. It's not quite the same as original Robotron, but it's good enough. It's still fun. So the next game we're going to be playing here is Joust, and it actually takes me a little while to realize what I'm supposed to do in that room. And there's a little defender ship over there. In fact, I might have just kind of gone in here and done stuff here first. Or did I go back to Joust first? Yeah, I went back to Joust. Okay. Now, I could not for the life of me remember how to beat the Joust guy. And this is one of those one of those points in the video where I kind of just spend a little while on this because I'm not really thinking in terms of the power-ups. What I'm meant to do is these little, like, Dance Dance Revolution looking generic rhythm game machines each have a button on them. Now, actually, I take the super speed hint. I think as a way to I have to use super speed to maybe hit him. But what I'm supposed to be doing is each of those have buttons on them, but like the buttons will turn off after a bit. And I have to use super speed in order to be able to hit all of the buttons quick enough for them to all be lit up at the same time. And it takes me a little bit to figure this out. I'm actually going to be like attacking this guy with super speed at first. So apologies. I'm just kind of watching the raw footage along with doing the commentary here, and I didn't really feel like editing the footage down before doing the commentary. I'm just sort of doing this just still on my computer after work, so getting that in so I can edit that and get that up today, because just kind of as on a timeline thing, I'm in between also uploading Shadow of the Colossus Parts 2 and 3. So I'm going to be uploading Shadow of the Colossus 3 tomorrow. But it also doesn't help the fact that I'm not really paying much attention to the game. I'm just kind of like doing this, not really thinking about what to do here. Just kind of doing this on autopilot because, again, I'm also talking with a friend of mine at the time on PlayStation Network party. So I do eventually get it, but yeah. Then I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe I have to be super speedy to bust up that box. And I think I just go for the knight again. And then I realized I think at this point is when I realized that I hit the button and the button goes away. And maybe, I have to use the super speed to light up all the buttons? Or I don't remember the exact timing on that, but I know that this is the point where the gears start kind of turning here. Past floof, don't turn me into a liar. What am I doing? You only have like so much time, dude. Come on. No, I think it's still a bit before it clicks. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I mean, it seems so obvious now that I'm in the position to know. Like, I'm in a position where I actually know what the solution is, and it's very obvious now. But I think I remember mentioning to my friend, you'd think that the children's game would have less devious puzzles than this, and it's really not. It's not that bad a puzzle. It's just I'm being a half-minded idiot at the time this was being recorded, and half paying attention, I should say. But I still think it's funny that even after all of this time wasted on this one puzzle, it still took me less time to beat this level pack than it did like any of the other ones. I think this is because this one doesn't have as many cutscenes. Now that I think about it. Also, there were situations like with oh, now I'm trying the ground pound. That doesn't work either. I mean, there was also stuff like what happened with I was about to say there's stuff like what happened with Back to the Future where I had to where the game crashed or I had to restart it to figure out what I was doing. But even then, that was edited down. And it was still like over a while. Also, when going back through some of my old stuff, I realized that there was like a big span of silence during one of the building segments in Back to the Future. And it's because sometimes, because in the room I don't have like a door or anything. And sometimes, like when my roommate is doing stuff downstairs, like being on the phone, I'm afraid that it'll show up on the microphone. Oh, see, now I get it. And there's like a span of like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 20 seconds where I don't say anything, and I'm just kind of sitting there because my roommate is on the phone and I'm waiting for him to stop talking before I continue. And I was supposed to edit that out, and I realized like the other day, and again, I'm in July, so roughly half a year after that was recorded, even if that. And I realized that, oh, that's all like up on YouTube like that. Oh well. I really don't feel like going back and changing it. I just like feel like getting that out because at the end of the day, I'm a person who really feels like he has to explain himself for a lot of things. But anyway, hitting all those DDR machines opened up that crate. There was another Joust Knight inside who killed the Joust Knight that was there, which opened up the arcade dock for Joust. And I'm not a huge fan of Joust because I'm quite bad at it. And if you've played Balloon Fight is the exact same game. In this game, you're a little knight on an ostrich, and your goal is to kind of flap around, hitting other dudes with your lance. Although you have to hit them off of their ostriches. You can't just like run into them. But I'm not very good at it. And luckily, it doesn't take long for me to get the medal, so that was a sigh of relief for me. But yeah, Balloon Fight is like, for the NES, is like the exact same game. Citation needed. Then again, I never really went to arcades much as a kid, so I don't have a lot of nostalgia for a lot of these kinds of games. I just stopped talking to the wizard dude because I really didn't see it as important anymore. I just wanted to get on with it. This is I don't know if I would say that this is my least favorite of the extra level packs. But it was one of the ones that I was looking forward to the least. I really wasn't looking forward to the Simpsons one either, because... Well, no, I did like that episode of The Simpsons, so it was whatever. It's just... Like, the ones I was mostly looking forward to were, like, the really good ones, like, you know, Back to the Future and Doctor Who and Ghostbusters and Portal 2. And Simpsons was okay. It was based on a good episode of the show. But this is probably, I would say, the weakest. Even though there are some good minigames in this. The goal in this case is to use the laser vision to blow up the gold cars, and I get to build a thing here that I don't know if I get to build a car that runs into the other car. I have to basically stop the other car, and then when I stop the other car, it unlocks the dock for Super Sprint. Yeah, I think I have to like bring up like 3 barricades and like. Yeah, there's more stuff to destroy with laser vision. Each of these arcade docks like showcases a different power up. So there is going to be one for super strength at some point too. I think super strength is the only one I hadn't used yet. This was I had used laser vision for this. No, fortunately, we don't play tubing. I don't like tubing either. We'll get to that when we get to that, but... we used laser vision for this, we used the invisibility for Robotron, we used super speed for Joust, and we used invincibility for Spy Hunter. There's other parts over there you need to build with, dude. There you go. So we'll use the super strength for the game after this, which I want to say is Gauntlet or Gauntlet 2. And that's one of the other games I actually really do enjoy. But I could have sworn that, like, I think it's like that both of them are in the stage, or I think it's just like Gauntlet 2. But I can't remember whether or not it's actually optional or not. I remember playing some of the optional games thinking that they were needed to progress. I spent forever on Paperboy, suffering on Paperboy before I realized it wasn't giving me anything. The very first time I played this. You won't see that in this. I had learned my lesson by that point, but no, the first time I played this this level, I played a lot of Paperboy, much more Paperboy than I would have liked to play. And here we're playing Super Sprint. I don't like Super Sprint that much either, but I'm fairly sure that I mentioned that we actually played a variation of Super Sprint. We played a Super Sprint section in the Midway level in the story mode. Except that was actually made up of Lego bricks, and it was a lot easier because I could use the control stick to control the car. And in this, I'm in the blue car, if you couldn't tell. And I'm fairly sure, I don't remember if I have to, I am fairly sure I had to do more than one level in order to be able to get the bronze medal. I think I failed this the first time, because I'm just so bad at it. It's like one of those things where, even though it's a top-down game, you have, like... The reason I suck at this so much is because I'm not used to the controls. And you have an acceleration button, and then you have the stick to steer. But it is steering in the sense that when you hit left on the stick, it steers you left in accordance to the direction your car is facing. And that took me a bit to get used to. And notice like the emulation is kind of choppy. Yeah, you already can't get like the silver or gold bronze medals. And I think I was just kind of mad at this point that I had to do more than one, so I restarted. Because I don't like this game very much, and I just wanted to get on with it. That's why I picked the easy track. I'm fairly sure in order to get the bronze medal, you have to at least finish in third. And as soon as you qualify for the bronze medal, you don't have to play the game anymore. And that's kind of what I was counting on, was just like do the bare minimum and then move on with the rest of the level. And that's another reason I think why the level doesn't take as long to do. Because it makes you want to play the arcade games, and if you don't futz around with that too much, you can just go ahead and move on with the rest of the with the rest of the level. You don't have to worry about it. So this time I actually did get first place, and that was enough. So I was like, okay, screw this, I'm out. And I think like there's like another Super Sprint game. I don't know if it's called Super Sprint 2. Yeah, there is another Super Sprint in this game as well. There are a lot of arcade games that you can unlock and play. There's also the other main game that I actually really like that's included in LEGO Dimensions in general, and LEGO Dimensions is actually how I discovered it, is Zybots. Zybots is extraordinarily fun, and without the Defender ship. I don't remember what this does. Oh, that's what I need super strength for, is to bust open that wall. And I need invisibility in order to pass by the, in order to pass by the camera. In order to get in that room. I don't remember if that has optional stuff or not. I'm fairly sure the next game I am playing is Defender. Because, you know, Defendership is there. And you do have to play 6 games to light up and go up the elevator, and then you play one more game at the end to basically beat the level. Yeah, you have to play Defender here, and unlike 90% of the population of the Earth, I'm not a big fan of Defender. Again, because I suck at it, because I didn't play it when I was younger. And, yeah, I kind of get a handle on what to do. It's just, I'm not a big fan of of how the controls work out, so I end up sucking at the game. I only need 2,000 points, though, which isn't really much. I think I do end up, well, or, I don't end up doing that yet, because I haven't gotten to that point. But I will change the in-game look of the arcade machine to. I think Gauntlet is one of the choices for that. So I'll probably swap with the Gauntlet once I invest the studs for that. But your goal here is to kill the aliens, but you also have to save the people, and or at least stop the aliens from bringing the people up to the off the top of the screen. And I don't mind the concept of this game. The concept of the game is actually very good. And you know, it is considered an arcade great, and I know people like it, so they must have done something right. It's just, I mean, you even have a little radar up, and you know the landscape loops, but you have the little radar up there, which gives you a good idea of you know, where all the aliens are. But I'm just rubbish at it. And obviously, I messed it up on my first try to get 2,000 points, which, you know, I did end up getting like 1,500. So it's not that tall of an order to get 2,000 points, in my opinion. It's just, again, I suck at the game. I think if you grab the people as they fall, you get bonus points too. But yeah, I didn't go to arcades much as a kid. There's an arcade at there was an arcade at the mall near me. I don't even know if it's there anymore because I don't even go to the mall anymore. But like the things I remember playing in there most were like Initial D and Dance Dance Revolution. And they didn't have games like this there. But there are other arcade games that I'm fairly sure are not in this that I do enjoy. I like Qbert. I like Battlezone. I like Tempest, Asteroids. Again, Robotron is a favorite. I like Zybots, which I've also played the Lynx version of that. I like Gauntlet. Rampage. We'll actually be playing that later. I do like Rampage. So there's a good number of arcade games I do enjoy, but I'm rubbish at most of them. So obviously, seeing as we're fighting Gauntlet heroes here, we are going to be playing Gauntlet next. So Gauntlet is required. But both the Gauntlet, I think both Gauntlet and Gauntlet 2 are in this, are in LEGO Dimensions, and both of the docks for them are in this room, because I recall playing one of them and it ended up being optional. I think it was Gauntlet 2 was optional. But I do plan on going back and playing through... I mean, not necessarily the games that we've already played through here. But I do plan on at least showing off the rest of the games when we get to the free roam part of the LP. And so we'll get to see stuff, but even stuff I don't like as much, like 720 and Tubin and Paperboy. And not to knock people who like those games. Again, people grew up with those games and they love them, and you know, more power to you. I'm glad you're happy playing those, but I can't get into them. And I'm like of like a close enough age group. I mean, like what's the demographic for like these? I mean, what are like the ages of people who actually played those in the arcades? Like in their 40s, maybe early 50s. I'm in my mid 30s, so. Well, when I was a kid, like a lot of arcades had like when I was around the time there, arcades had like Street Fighter and stuff. That was, you know, when I got older, when I was like a teenager, that's when the arcade scene really started dying down. And it was mostly just Dance Dance Revolution and like Initial D. We're gonna play some Gauntlet, and I'm not great at Gauntlet either, but the cool thing of Gauntlet is that you can, with these ports, you can just kind of push a button to pump coins in and give yourself more health. So you can basically just kind of go through and not die. And I'm fairly sure that I do take advantage of that here and there. If I remember correctly, in Gauntlet, and I could be wrong. I could be playing this wrong. But you have hand-to-hand and you have shot attacks, and I'm fairly sure that you use hand-to-hand by running into enemies. Again, I'm fairly sure that's wrong, but that's how I remember things being. And like the warrior is good at hand-to-hand, but not necessarily as good at shots. But at the same time, running into enemies also hurts you. So honestly, I probably should have been the wizard or the elf, but it's whatever. I'm just kind of doing this to get the medal. I mean, you saw me like get hit once, and I lost my eligibility for silver and gold. Not that it matters. But I still enjoy Gauntlet. And that's pretty much all there is to that. I mean, it's obviously self-explanatory. It's a bit of a dungeon crawler. You kill enemies for points. You basically just have to find your way to the next floor. I don't know if it really has any bosses or not, but because I haven't really gotten super far in it. But you find keys, you open doors with keys, you know, you find food, you can shoot the food, and then the narrator guy will be like, "Wizard has shot the food." But now that we've played all 6 of the required games, we can now go into the elevator and move on to the second part of the stage. Which is basically like the roof of the arcade for some reason. And then that's where we'll play Rampage and beat the level. I don't know why I keep going for studs. I really don't need them. Yeah, I do still have, since we only have a few minutes left until the end of the video here. There are still a bunch of other parts like this that I'm going to be doing. I'm probably, just because I'm in a... It might just because I'm in another transition phase of coming back from a long hiatus, but the next few LEGO Dimensions videos, I mean, I still do have a few of them, because after this, I have a few of them backlogged here, because I still have to do the next big build video, and then I have a few levels that I have 100% gone through with free play mode, or what I refer to as free play mode. So I still have those to edit, and then when I do get back to recording these, which should be, possibly within the next week or so, I'm probably gonna still do something like this with the post-commentary, because I'm still at a point where I really don't feel like doing a lot of setup. Like Shadow of the Colossus, we've just been doing through share play with just the microphone hooked up, because it's easy and I don't want to go through a super stressful editing process. But you know, so the next few videos for LEGO Dimensions are definitely going to be like that, like this. But there may be a few others that may be like that, you know, past that as well. So that's all we had to do to unlock the Rampage dock. And I freaking love Rampage. You play as a monkey, or a monkey, a giant gorilla, or a giant lizard, or a giant wolf. And the goal is to just go around destroying buildings and eating people and destroying tanks. And it's a lot of fun. I actually played through the NES version fairly recently. I mean, the NES version loops, but I beat all of the levels in the NES version, which does not have the wolf in it. You can only play as George the gorilla or Lizzie the lizard. Ralph is the name of the wolf, but I'm fairly sure I just picked the gorilla because it was like the first one there. And I think around the time it was either around the time I played this, or I think actually before I played this, or around the time I played the NES version. I played through the NES version. There was that they made a movie based off of this with Dwayne Johnson in it. I can't imagine that was too great, but it is a very rare occurrence when video game movies are actually good. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But it doesn't take me too much to get to the score that I need, because I'm fairly decent at this game. See, I've already got 10,000 points. What does I need? Like, oh, let's say, do I need 15,000 or what? Now, continue exploring is replaced with question marks. It's just the final cutscene, so for whatever reason, we turned into George before we started playing the game. And now the world is doomed. All of our efforts to do stuff in the arcade were completely pointless. And there's Vortec. And that's it. That's the end of the level. The story was just like thrown together and made no sense, and I don't understand why they even bothered. But that's the level. We'll come back to it in the level select thing. But next time we're gonna build a bunch of stuff. So until then, I've been Captain Floofers, and I'll be here next time. Join me, won't you?